What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. You know, Micah Parsons, let's be clear here. Micah Parsons is the leader of the Dallas Cowboys defense. That's something that we have not had in so long. We had great players like Sean Lee who led by example, but you can't literally look and say, we have a vocal leader. You know, you had D-Law, who's tried to be kind of that way, but not really that guy. You know, he's always talked about it's hard to win when you get punched in the mouth, you know, to the Saints, which was a motivating factor, but on a regular basis, it just didn't feel quite like he was that guy. No disrespect to D-Law, because D-Law is a great player, but not everybody is a leader. Micah Parsons is a leader. Now, I'm curious, Philly 500, how you take, and Eagles Nation, how you take what Micah Parsons said. Now, Micah Parsons is a great interview, incredible interview, and you love to hear what he has to say. And so you hear that Micah Parsons says we're the best team in the NFC. And you look at that, and people, without hearing it in the context of it, will say, oh, he's trash talking and it's going to be bulletin board material. But I want you to listen to it. Shout out to 105 The Fan and G-Bag Nation for the interview here. But I want you to listen to a couple things that Micah Parsons has to say, and we'll talk about it after he's done.
Ag Nation, I've really enjoyed when you talk about how important winning is to you. What would it mean for you to bring a Super Bowl back to Dallas? First time in nearly 3 decades.
Man, it'll mean everything to me. Man, I'll break down in tears, that when you talk about legacy, when you talk about leaving a print and a foundation and an organization, I think, that's the most pivotal one. I mean, you bring a D-Roy home, you bring a defense player of the year home, and, that leaves like he's a very good player as his organization, but you lose a Super Bowl with an organization, it's like, man, that's the guy you remember forever. And that's why you guys constantly talking about Adrian, you guys talking about Michael Irvin, and those guys decades ago. But their names still ring bells when talking about success and winning, and I was my name in that conversation.
Micah, does it bother you when somebody doesn't love football as much as you do? When just watching you, it's just like you love football more than anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I love competing more than anybody.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, it bothers me when my girl's not playing at-home Django right.
Yeah.
It bothers me when my friends aren't bowling right. It's just competing. If you're just doing it, I believe you got to do it 100%. There's no drop-off. There's no fall. You just got to do it.
So are you trying to competitive?
Oh, go ahead, Dawson.
No. Are you trying to speak that into existence for your teammates? Are your teammates on that level?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think about when people say, hey, don't talk about the Super Bowl, let's just trust the process and go day to day?
No, that's exactly right. Matthew 6:64. Don't worry about tomorrow, worry about today. And, that's what God talks about all the time. Worry about today, getting better today. Focus on how we take our next stride for tomorrow, but stay right now. And I think that's the most important part.
Well, I mean, you know the game better than anybody. I love watching you talk about it and what you're putting on Twitter. You know what everyone's saying, right? It's the Niners, it's the Eagles within the division, and then the Cowboys are right there. How close do you think you guys are to being the top team in the NFC?
I think we are the top team in the NFC. No one can beat you except for you beat yourself. If you look at our game last year, that's a game we could have won, but, we beat ourselves with mistakes and things like that. So I think we are the top team when we talk about numbers, experience, guys who we get back. I think we're the only team where we gain players. Like, we gained players. We didn't lose, Javon Hargrave and then draft somebody.
Right.
We had everybody across the board. So when we talk about years of playing together, years of, experience, I think we're up there to be that better team.
Yeah, you smacked McGlinchey so hard, he got the hell out of San Francisco to go to Chicago. That was one of the most incredible things I've ever witnessed. The power and explosion, and that's without, you've now put on a little bit of weight, right? Is this the biggest you've ever been, strongest you've ever been?
Strongest I've ever been, for sure.
So what was, is that to try and help you towards the end of the season? To try and just...
So just creating a plan for me so I can stay strong. I feel like last year I was getting my groin, my shoulder, it was just so many little things, my knee, and it was just like, I was like, man, how can I build enough strength to last me throughout the year, and then also create a plan where I'm working out during the year so I can keep that same momentum.
Gotcha. I love it. And how have you noticed since being in the league now and obviously established?
So, Philly 500. The Eagle fans are shaking in their boots. Let me pull a Philly 500 right now. Eagle fans are shaking in their boots because Micah Parsons put on weight and put on strength to make sure that he can make it through the season. And listening to him, I don't think that this was actually trash talking per se. He said, I think we are the best team in the NFC. And then made the argument and says, well, you look at the Eagles, they lost some players that they have to replace, which is a fact. I know it's hard to believe, Philly. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. You did lose some players, and now you're going to have guys that haven't played much that you're going to rely on to step up. It's not to say that you don't have great players, but the problem is when guys first start playing, not many of them come out the box playing like Micah Parsons. As a rookie or as a guy who's getting your first opportunity, your eyes are wide open. And that, my friends, is the difference of what he's actually saying. I don't think it was actually trash talking. I know you Eagle fans will be butthurt and say, oh, he's just talking shit. He's full of it. But he actually has a point. You have 7 new starters on your team.
He has a point. This is a tissue for Philly 500.
Oh, man.
He's going to cry a little bit.
No, he'll do a video and just, yeah, Marco's is crazy. Marco, we're the greatest team ever.
That's for you, Philly 500.
But don't worry, next week I'll be seeing all of those Hall of Famers that are going into the Hall of Fame from the Eagles.
Oh, there's so many.
I heard the whole class was, except for the 2 Cowboys, isn't it? Something like that.
Something like that.
I know, because you guys have been there forever.
I mean, they're just
Been there forever, so I know you got lots of Hall of Famers going in, right? But I still say that's not trash talking. But he does need to back it up.
Legit talking.
And that is a guy who legitimately will not rest until he hoists that ring or that trophy, or has the ring and can hoist trophies. Yeah, trophies. All right, good people. I got to go pick up some wood because you can never have enough wood, and go sand some columns and things so my wife can do some painting, and then get back here. We'll be live streaming tonight here from the Red Brick House, talking about training camp. Hopefully, knock on wood, we won't be talking about any more injuries for the Dallas Cowboys. I appreciate you guys, and as Philly 500 would say, don't be a dingbat like Philly 500, because he really is a dingbat. Peace.